That's where we are presenting this morning's show from. But you can still reach us on telephone at a time when we invite you to call and ask your questions or pass your remarks. And of course, the telephone numbers have remained the same. Is 0700 2255 1037. And the second number is 081 27 82 8497. Let me repeat that first number because it's very simple. It's 0700 22 55 1037. You'll be able to reach us on the show. There's no editorial this morning because for 2 weeks now, as I said, I have been hit by the pain, the agony of missing out on going to the World Cup. And I've just been, my fire is in the process of being extinguished. My fire of, enthusiasm to even do business, because those of us who depend on sports to survive, once this happens, it's like a break. And it's tough for us to rise again from that ground level zero. So that's the situation. Abiodun is with me. We'll go on a short break, just so that we can break the monotony of our conversation. And when we come back, we have my conversation with Abiodun Ilori. And anyway, probably along the course of this program, we'll be having another guest from Atlanta who will be joining us. He's also a digital technology expert. And everybody's interested to know how this would impact, how it has impacted, in fact, football around the world. So join us after this very, very short break.
My name is Ron Freeman, and I'm a 1968 Olympic gold and bronze medal winner. And I also set a world record, the longest standing world record that stood for 25 years in the Olympic Games. And you are listening to Eagle 7, 103.7 FM Sports Radio.
Yeah, so welcome back. That was really short. Well, Abiodun, let's come to you, because I can't wait for this conversation. I don't know much myself. So let me admit before we even start that I have struggled through the years to join the new digital media space, business space. And it hasn't been easy for me. So I cannot blame anybody that is finding it difficult or afraid or intimidated or whatever that word is to join that world. So you worked in the NFF, or you worked with them, not that you worked as an employee, you worked with the NFF for several years. And at the end of it, you are not there anymore. And yet you carry this expertise that you'll be telling us about. But tell us about that, your relationship with the NFF through that period of time and what you did and why you left, why you are not there anymore.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. And let me first say a very big thank you, sir, because I'm one of the ones who used to sneak out to the Liberty Stadium to watch Mathematical Segun Odegbami in Ibadan those days. And
thank you.
I ended up playing number 7 as well.
Wow.
It was all part of your inspiration, yourself, Mudashiru Babatunde Lawa, Besto Gedegbe, Kunle Awesu, etc., etc. I mean, I just want to say a very big thank you to you. I never knew a day like this would come, actually.
In short, you were an Ibadan boy.
Ibadan me to the core.
Very good.
Let's forget about British, whatever, but thank God for that time. So basically, when I joined NFF through an invitation from Mr. Amaju Pinnick and Mr. Olajire, and the whole idea was let's try to digitize the Nigerian Football Federation, and let's focus on making people see our games, and then help us stabilize some of the things we couldn't do digitally. So, and I was on a zero platform. I didn't know what was going on there, because before then I was doing a lot with UEFA, FIFA, just going around doing stuff for them, and then working for the government here in England. So when I got in there, the first thing I realized was that we didn't have anything. When I say nothing, I mean nothing. Nothing was working. Even the emails, their Google emails, got their emails from Google, and everything got locked up. In fact, they had them at that time. Everything was just down and almost out. So, but as God would have it, we were able to recover those things, and I just was like, where do I start from? But Mr. Amaju Pinnick was an ebullient man. He was like, okay, first of foremost, check what you need to check and tell me what you want us to do. We did, and after eliciting here and there, I knew it was going to be a tough job, because the people in and around there, as much as they have the passion for the game, they just have zero clue about what digital solutions are. They don't even know anything about. They don't even know, and they don't want to know, because they're just focused on their job. So that was where we started looking at how we can unshake the system here and there. And as God will have it, the first thing we did was to break the monopoly of showing football to Nigerians through satellite. You know, without satellite connectivity, you can't watch Nigerian games, especially when you are playing abroad. So that was the first thing we achieved. I was able to break it down to what people can watch on their laptop. It was an Herculean task, but God gave us the code. I think the first place we went was Austria, and we were able to decode it. They gave me the satellite code, I decoded it, and then boom, it was on the laptop. And today, anybody can see Nigerian matches from anywhere. I mean, it's no longer a secret that on your phone you can easily follow Nigerian matches, and that gave back to NFF TV actually. And gradually we developed that to a point where we didn't show any games on YouTube again. We have our own dedicated platform like a normal TV, and then it became a household name to a point where the likes of Sky Sports UK, Bein Sports, Al Jazeera, CNN, Global Sports, all of them started chasing me all over the place just to have a feel of our platform, because it took us like 4 years to get the final goal that, man, your platform can easily be integrated into our platform. As big as we are good to go with you. If you are showing anything, we can easily join you live. And we did that in Cote d'Ivoire. They used our platform to actually interview the president live on Sky. So that really gave me joy, and that was a very, very proud moment for me, because what we started, like nothing good can happen from Africa, finally is being used by our Western counterpart.
No, but wait, just wait there first. You are not a television broadcast studio organization. So what you did was to set up your own cameras, your crew,
yes,
and then you take pictures at venues, and then to stream them.
Yes, but beyond that.
Okay, explain it so that we understand.
It's gone way beyond that. What we did was to create a server that can accommodate what is being streamed beyond YouTube, beyond Facebook, beyond. Okay. So we have our own dedicated platform that cannot be replicated, and this platform seamlessly can be integrated into a TV station program, and you won't know. So that was what we're talking about here. And then that was really, really huge, because if you want to buy into such a platform online, it can cost you several thousands of dollars. Several thousands of dollars. But we were able to do it. We developed our own. It's an African thing. I always call whatever we do Afrocentric solution. So it was an Afrocentric solution, and we were managing what we have. And when the big voice of the industry said, your platform is good, we like what is coming out of your platform, the server is very smooth, and we are happy with it. And the best word that came for us was when the president was actually interviewed live in Cote d'Ivoire before the final. And from that moment onwards, I knew we were there. And then the only thing we were waiting for them was for the NFF to now come out and say, man, we got what we wanted. Everybody, how do we run this thing? Because this is our money-making channel. We got it, and we're there. The only challenge we were having then was games coming from Nigeria, because almost all our stadiums in Nigeria lack digital infrastructure to cope with live streams that will be accepted internationally. I don't know if you understand what I mean. We lack those infrastructures in a big way. Yeah. I was disappointed with all the stadiums. In fact, I lost an equipment that cost me like $5,000, one of my switchers. So what we were trying to do then was to look for an equipment that can bypass all these hiccups we used to face from the Nigerian internet space and all that stuff. And good thing, I was able to buy a satellite link, but unfortunately we will not even be able to use it before everything got to a halt in Nigeria. But the good thing is, had it been we continue to operate, I think we have a solution to that. So, but because we lack digital infrastructures, that really caused a lot of hiccups for me, because I didn't want to go and meet sponsors and will not be able to guarantee a smooth operation that will make me feel proud in front of my sponsors. You get what I mean? So that was what I was battling with before. Before we had that issue. So, and that was that on NFF TV. But let me just reiterate this. When you say I'm not a broadcaster and all that stuff, in a way, I happen to got some training, serious training, to be honest with you, in broadcasting. I initially worked with NBC, Middle East Broadcasting Corporation here in England. I did a stint with BBC in 1994 here in England, and I did a lot of work in the area of broadcasting while doing stuff with UEFA. And I've done some stuff with Real Madrid TV. I've done some stuff with other key TV stations. So I really have what it takes to, and being an IT person, I know what I need to put together to get it done when I need to get it done. So that was the expertise I took to Nigeria. And the first time I tried it in Nigeria was in 2017, when Alhaji Diko, the NSC chairman, and Mr. Amaju wanted me to try if we can show the Nigerian league, which I did from here, but I got defeat from Super Sports. But that was just that. But when I came in as a consultant of the Nigerian Football Federation, we went on with the NFF TV. So that was how I had the experience, and I was using the experience. In fact, it has always been a part of me. So from there, we went on to see how we can unshake the Nigerian Football Federation, departments. At least let us see a new road into how we can digitize the secretariat. Even though they're always telling us there is no money, and you can't blame them, because I'm not a staff. I don't know how they disburse their funds, but most of what we did was done from our pocket. Almost 99% of what we did was self-funded. So, but eventually, we were able to get something done for them. What I did was I got I did what we call requirement gathering, and that took some time. But by the time we finished, we were able to change the website, the outlook. We were able to give them a real corporate email. And one thing you need to know is that NFF is a high-risk organization. In 1 year, they got 6,000 attacks, cyber attacks.
6,000.
Oh yes, sir. Oh yes, sir. This can be proved. I can prove it. So you can see the risk involved. Everybody wants to know what's going on with the NFF. So that was a real challenge that I had to face. And today they are secured, no fears. You can ask FIFA, you can ask CAF, you can ask NFF. It's seamlessly running, no stress with the solution we gave them, and we are always constantly managing what we gave them in that regards. And they now have their own server on which they have the solutions we gave them on their own server, which has never happened before. So they are hosting their own solutions. Their website is there, their email are there, their other files are there. So they are secured with that. And when we did that, I now said to myself, what else can we do for NFF? Because I looked at the state FAs. Nobody seems to know what they are doing in their states. I looked at the Nigerian players. Nobody seems to know what's happening to the Nigerian players. Is it not time we digitize all of these things? So that gave birth to my NFF info. My NFF info, I think, is a solution NSC is actually looking for. My NFF info will tell you the story of if you're an amateur, how you started your football career, when you moved to the clubs, how you move your clubs, your football CV is what is there. That is your football data lifestyle. And that will now give you your FIFA ID. When you get your FIFA ID, you can still apply for your international player license through that my info. And in that same my NFF info, we have what we call scout log. All scouting project or program in Nigeria must be registered. If you are a scout and you want to go about your scouting, whether you are local or international, you must interact with that solution. Register there, with the state FA. Once you register with the state FA, it comes up on that platform. And from there, you pay what you need to pay. Everybody will see what you've done, the number of players you actually picked, where you took them to, how well they are settled, and the history of those players goes straight into the file of the players automatically. The players will interact with it and get some stuff done. The referees have their column, their space there. The coaches have their space there. Match commissioners have their space there. Players have their space there. So it's a comprehensive database solution for Nigerian football. But somehow, it's been ready for over 2.5 years now, or going to 3 years actually. NFF did not deploy it. So it's still there.
Stop there. Let me digest all that I have heard now. This is sweet music in my ears to hear that we have actually done as much as you have stated this morning. But just listening to you, you are not there anymore.
Well, I'm not there, but my company still manages.
What's your relationship now with the NFF?
I'm very good with the NFF because, it's all about vision and objectives. I always believe I love the environment, and I appreciate NFF because if they didn't give us the opportunity, we won't be talking about this solution now. But I sincerely believe the solution. Let me tell you this: the solution was built for free.
Wow!
And that solution, I can tell you this, sir. I can showcase it to Nigerians. I can display the whole thing to Nigerians. That solution took me to South Africa and Morocco. How? Why? Because South Africa have the best sports data, football database system in Africa. And when I discovered that, I put in my nose. I want to know how and what they are doing with it, how they got it done, what are the requirements they gathered to get to that level. So I engaged the coach who runs a club in South Africa. We paid for all of these things. We paid good money to gather all these informations. And when I got the keys, I was able to run through the back end and all that stuff. And I said, okay, fine, we can do this. I went to Morocco. You know Morocco very well. They have true sound. I got the wind of what they did as well. And I said, okay, Nigeria, here we come. Let's develop our own. So we built on what they have. We built on what they have. And I can say, had it been we deployed what we have, it would have been a shock or a shocker to the rest of African football community. Why? Because what they least expect to see on that solution, they will just be shocked that they're there. And that will have solved the problem of NFF having a blank relationship with the state FAs, because the state FAs will have automatically been integrated into NFF activities, and people will have been seeing their activities on their website easily. So if they play any match, it will be recorded there. If any scouting program comes, it will be there. Everything that is going on in the states will be there, and the credit goes to the state FAs. All the clubs, all the players, amateur, professionals, coaches,
academies,
everything. I'm not joking about this. This is something I can showcase anytime you want it. So it's no stories. We built on
why was this not deployed? Why have we not deployed this?
Well, to be honest with you, Uncle, I will say, number one, it's like the leadership of NFF they have a different vision, and they have a different ideology of how they want to run the secretariat. And for me, I cannot argue with the system, because they are the ones that engage me, and I cannot force anything on them. I was just looking at ways to stabilize the way we work and how to make it easy, because what we'll have done from then on will have been to begin to unleash every department into the digital space, phase after phase, one after the other, because my job will have been simplified once that got deployed. You get what I mean? So the next will have been the technical department, digitize them, link them to the stuff. They can see what they want to see. Because at the point of a button, you can easily see the CV of a player. So, and the technical department needs some of these things to work with on a daily basis. So they will have been the next on my line. And I was already working with the competitions department. And as I'm talking to you, the FA Cup, we digitized the FA Cup. We have a program designed for Nigerian. I think it's called President Cup now, but it was never used. So all of these things just make me feel like this is frustrating for me. How can you spend so much time, energy trying to make things happen, and it's like it's not working, or they're not.
Let me make it easier, because I'm using myself as an example. I am not IT, computer, new media savvy. It's not that I know it, but I am struggling to change my mentality from analog. We studied anything about analog.
I know.
We are so used to it and so comfortable within that our space.
Exactly, yes.
But to now be thinking of digital, to be thinking of all that you have stated now, that conversion from analog to digital is a huge gulf.
Yes.
But psychologically, we need to bridge.
That
But
is the gap.
probably that's the problem. They are afraid
That's
to
the
do
gap.
it
Yeah,
because they
actually.
don't know the consequences of doing it. They don't even see the end of it. You know, they don't understand. It's education, really, isn't it?
Yes, I think what actually happened was that as much as the leadership really love some of these things, they really can't see the importance.
They can't grasp it.
Yes, that what about the club in one village? How would they? And I told them all of these things would have been easy for us to deploy with simple training. Number one, your staff need to be trained and retrained. They need to have a hand on some of these things. So once they grasp it, the clubs are the easiest. I mean, they send players abroad, they sell players. How do they manage to sell those players? The contract was not written in Hausa language or Yoruba language. It was written in English. So it's all about interaction and being able to believe in what you got for free. Because I believe if Nigeria were to go out to get those programs done, we'll be talking of some good thousands of dollars. Very good money will be paid for it. Because they are not cheap. They are not cheap. They are not cheap. So I just believe, well, maybe it's because they got it the way it came. You have someone who just did it.
Free of charge.
So it's like I just realized these people don't know the importance of what we are talking about here, because it came just for free, and I'm happy. But I still believe that once the leadership grasps, because don't let me lie to you, I work closely with them, and I know there are people that really want to get into the groove of things. But like you said, there is a lacuna that needs to be filled. And that lacuna needs someone who can really explain things to them, that don't waste time. This thing, the gap will continue to expand, and that is where we are now. We have gotten to that point where Nigeria needs to work triple hard to close that gap. And that's what we are running away from. So these are things I've done during my time there. And right now, all I just do is to maintain the one that we have done that is working with them. So we are not fighting. There is no war. We are good, and I like them, but I still believe there will be a time they will come to realize that all these things, we need to put them to work. We need to work very hard on it, because it's not all about money, but where we need to spend the money, we have to spend the money.
The money is important, because if you are charging them for the service, they will definitely use you. Now that you are offering the thing free of charge, so they wouldn't take it as seriously as they should.
So that was what I thought of then, though. But
okay, let me narrow it down to a few issues now.
Okay, sir.
In digitalizing,
yeah,
the player base of Nigerian football.
Yes.
I'm just talking players now.
Yeah.
And the way players are migrating abroad to different parts of the world, and they are leaving Nigeria early without being fully established within the Nigerian football culture. How do you think, because you have done some work with the NFA, how do you think can we now be able to see what is going on in different parts where all these players have gone to, for us as a national team to bring the best of them to come and form the national team? Because your work as a digital analyst is to be able to analyze how all these players are playing, put it all down to something that a coach could sit, because there's no way a coach could monitor everybody.
Sure.
And look at it, analyze it, and say, this player is doing well here, this is how he's playing, that is how this is playing, and bring the best of them together. Am I thinking right or
Excellent.
wrong?
Excellent. You got it there. See, what we did will have given Nigeria the spectrum to see their players globally. And you will know how come this guy moved from this club to this club? Why is he migrating? Well, you will begin to you will be able to answer the why questions, and that will now take you to the main football analytic solutions to study the player all his time from one club to the other to see why he's moving. Is it because the coach likes him, that's why he's taking him around, or because the boy is just, you will know his story. That will open your eyes to know the story of this player because you've seen it from my player info. You get it? Now, managing our players, we need a team. Nigeria football need a team that will be doing these things for them. Let me tell you for a fact, I did some stuff with the Senegalese football team. I'm just telling you this now. The Senegalese football team, the chief analyst happens to be my friend. He's a French guy. He happens to be my friend. When he was setting everything up, he called me, Abi, what solution can we use for this? We spent a lot of nights because Senegalese football invested in it. You understand what I'm saying, sir? Mm-hmm. The Senegalese football invested heavily in it. And what we ended up doing was to come with a solution that will that narrows down the kind of player that fits into his style of play, what he was trying to introduce to the Senegalese team. So the solution narrow it down to the kind of player that can fit into the culture he wants to bring in. See, there is something about football identity. We don't have it anymore in Nigeria. Whoever is scouting for Nigeria, whatever plans we have, we've lost our football identity. You know, during your time, you know, you play power football, 4-2-4 majorly, and everybody expects that to be the kind of formation Nigeria will come with. So you might have to work very hard to cope with the speed of the wingers. That's our football identity then. We rely on the wings because you can take players on, you can do all sorts of things, and we have the midfield that can spray the ball to you the way you want it. Like Budashi knows where you are, even closing his eye. So it's a football identity. It's an identity. During the time of J.J. Okocha and Kanu Wako, Rashidi Ekini, we know we have people who can hold the ball and do all sorts of things with the ball in the middle. And they have the kind of striker who can finish. It's another identity. So, but in this present day and time, we don't have such identity. What we have are just players who have their football club identity, not a national identity, because our football have no character that can give us that identity. I don't know if I'm making any sense to you,
Absolutely. Sir. Absolutely. I understand.
So for me, if I want to look at your team, the first thing I will look at is what is the main rock of this team? What is their philosophy? What makes this team tick? You look at the English national team, we all know what makes the English team tick. Because we know the kind of players you will see on the pitch, and the kind of formation you will see, and the kind of football they will display for you on the pitch of play. It's not about they are on form or they are not in form. No. That's another thing entirely. So when we don't see the identity, it becomes very difficult to narrow the team down. So when I look at our national team, even though I have nothing to do with helping them to do that, I just look at it and shake my head at times that, we have issues. This is serious. But good a thing, people like the former coach of the female national team, Waldron discovered me. He sensed that I know this thing a lot. And I did a lot of work for the man. And I will tell you again today, may his soul rest in peace. I was the one that was actually doing this dirty job for Stephen Keshi during his time. Keshi will give me £300, £200, £500. He has the money. I even bought him an equipment. So if whenever he's traveling, he will tell me, Abiodun, this player, I have this player. Can you please analyze this player for me? One of the ones I enjoyed so much was Sunday Mba.
Yeah.
Before I told son Keshi that with your football philosophy and the style of play you want to adapt, this guy can do wonders. And you can see he was the one that scored the goal that gave us the trophy in South Africa, if you remember.
Yeah.
So, I mean, Nigeria needs to be deliberate about what they want from their football. The NFF need to be deliberate. These are my people. I love it. I love working with them, but we have to change some things. The leadership need to come with a clear vision of what we want for our national team. It's the days of just bringing players, scouting players from England. If you like, we can scout from heavens. Anytime Nigeria is playing, you should know that it's a final. It's a final because we have the name. Look at Ghana. Ghana did a lot of work behind the scene, and you can see where they are now in their football. I worked briefly with a party. I worked one-on-one with Party. When Party said he engaged me with one of the friend guys that, okay, I want to know why I'm getting so injured all the time. And at the end of the day, after analyzing his game, we realized that he's always using one part of his body and it's affecting his skills so much so that the weight is on that part. If you look, he's always having problem with one of his legs. So football has gone too scientific for us to be wasting time just packaging players. Let's go. No, I was telling the video and I said, look, if you want to be winning games, you have to analyze the game up to the pitch of play. If you will need to wet the pitch and tell your players to get a boot that will work with a wet pitch to the shock of your opponents, you better start doing it. There are so little things that give teams victory because the match has been played indoors well before you got to the pitch of play. That's how scientific football has gone now.
Wow, just pause there, because I had a conversation. We'll be going on a short break. I had a conversation with Otto Gloria, Coach Otto Gloria, who was coach of the national team of
I remember him. I remember.
At that time, he was coach of Brazil. He was coach of Portugal.
Yeah.
For the 1966 World Cup. On the eve of our match, the final match of the 1980 Cup of Nations, Christian Chukwu and I, at midnight, were going back to our room, and we saw this man in his room. His door was open, and Christian said we should go in and just chat with him. So we went in, and we saw him bent over this chart. And when we asked him what he was doing, what he was doing was that he was actually playing the match the following day, that night.
Exactly.
He was playing the match that we were going to play the following day. He was playing it on paper that night.
That's it.
Said, you have to play that match
long before
you get to the field of play.
Exactly.
You have to consider everything. The pitch on which you are going to play, will it be wetted or will it dry? What is the thickness of the grass on that?
Exactly.
These are things. What did you use? What? Just exactly what you are saying. The difference is that he was writing it. Now the computer will do it.
Yes,
I made a remark, which you also made, that football has gone scientific beyond the art form that it was. Before it was art. It was what you could do, express yourself individually. We were the artists,
Yes, using your raw skills.
Yeah, the skills.
And that's what we are still doing in Nigeria today.
Now it has become more robotic.
Yes.
Artistic. You'll be telling us a little about that.
Okay.
Come back from our very short break once again, just so that we can hold our breath and then entertain the people. I don't know if we have some music. If we don't, just a few promos, and then we'll be right back. But then, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio, coming to you live from the studios in Wasimi, near Abeokuta in Ogun State. So, after the break.
My name na Dede Mabiaku. And you're listening to Eagle 7 Spots Radio, 103.7 FM. Hey! They could not listen to Ramo.
I am Kadri Kana, MON, former ex-international, CAF award-winning coach. You are listening to Eagle 7 Sports Radio, 103.7 FM.
Yes, well, welcome back. Are we back? Welcome back. Once again, this is Eagle 7 Sports Radio. I'm thoroughly enjoying this morning's conversation. It's a masterclass in the transition between of football from art to science. So just take us into that world, Abiodun.
Thank you, sir. You see, we are very fortunate in Nigeria because as far as African football is concerned, we have the best leagues. I'm saying this authoritatively. Nigerian players have the best raw talents. They are the best raw talents in Africa. And that's why they are the most sought after. The only problem we have is they always come up with issues when they are being taken away. And that's where education needs to come in. That's where preparation to transit needs to come in. And like what I told you we did, I was thinking the secretariat will come up with, okay, can we start a school so that when we get them at the age of 15 and we begin to group, because we need to start grouping these players. When you see these English players doing so well, adapting to formations, comporting themselves to a particular style, don't move beyond XYZ. Don't move beyond 30 meters, 25 meters, 10 meters, 5 meters. Look, it didn't start today. It starts from when they are playing their academies. That's when they start imputing those things into them gradually. So there is a class they have to attend. There is a class they have to attend. And gradually it becomes part and parcel of their system. They know, so they don't need to be told anymore. So now, since they have assimilated so much, they become like a robot on the pitch. So when a coach comes with a code, because every coach has his own code, do this, do that, they know what it means. So in today's football, little things win games for you. There are no more minus, and that's the mistake we are making in Nigeria. We still believe we are good, we can do this, we can do that. So when you want to buy a player or you want to bring in a player, you must make sure that this player can assimilate into your football culture, your football philosophy. But the problem now is, technically, can he adapt to the level you want him to adapt to? That's the problem all our professional footballers are having abroad today. They are good on the ball, but scientifically, they cannot cope because their football intelligence is low. It wasn't developed to the point where the coach will believe in them. That's why you see them, after a season, they just start fading. What you see them using to excel today is nothing but God-given talent. That's why when I look at people like Osimhen, I would have loved to sit down with him. That Osimhen, come, let's. I did it with Partey. The same Thomas Partey, I did it with him. Even though it was for a very short period of time, but I was happy he was one of my guys. Kevin Mbabu, the Swiss player, he was up till now, I still work with him. So these are things Nigerian Football Federation needs to do. We need to have a team in that secretariat whose job is to start teaching our kids Anybody you bring into the under 15 national team is not there to just be doing kick the ball, do video. No, who does that these days? Man, come on. And it's unfortunate that we now have coaches who are so as good as they are with their job, they cannot interpret what they know, their knowledge, into today's football again. That's why you see them losing games they are meant to win. It's so glaring. I'm not a coach. The only thing I can tell a coach is, if you do this, maybe it will work. So you go and interpret what I've told you. At least I did it for Raw in Russia when Alhaji Shehu Diko took me in. I was working with Instat. I was their test person in Africa when he brought me in, and I told him what I told him. Even Pasero, your coach that just left, if I have to tell you today, let Nigerians hear me clearly. I was the one that was sending analytic feed straight to him on the pitch. The match he won 10-0. I was the one sending live analytic feed to him. So he was watching our opponents, what they were doing. In Cote d'Ivoire, he was using those defensive mechanisms because that's the only identity he can work with in the national team. Only the defense can give him the kind of identity that can make him get some result. And that was left behind by Kenneth Rowe. Why? People need to know, to ask, why are these people not releasing their hands from the brake for Nigerian football to flow like the days, like your time, like the time of Westerhoff? People need to ask questions. The reason is...
Yeah, okay. No, let me just stop you there for a while so that people can understand. I have been going around to observe, trials for young people who are to be taken abroad. And different scouts have come from abroad to look at them as they played their games in Nigeria. And what we found out was that when you sit the Nigerian coaches on one side and you sit these experts on one side and you let them look at the players and choose which ones are potentials for Europe and which ones are not, you will find a huge disparity. You see, the Nigerians will be looking at how the player is playing, on the field and so on. Whereas the Oyinbo people, when they choose their own, you will see they are looking at not how well he played in that
football intelligence,
but they want a 6'3" center forward.
Yes.
Want somebody who is, very, very quick and very powerful, pushing everybody around, and so on. What they look for is totally different.
Let me tell you a story. This one is very, very recent. Our top club side in Greece just contacted me because the boss, the owner of the club, I happened to know him when I was doing my distance. So the guy told me, I'm looking for a Nigerian striker. And you know what I'm looking for? He must be 6'2" tall, at least. And he gave me some other conditions. So I scouted 3 players. And what I discovered was that the last touch of these players is so woeful that they're not going to fit into the guy's list. And I asked him, these 2 players I want to give you, their last touch is very bad. Is there anything you can do to correct it? He asked me for their age. I gave him the age. He said, no, Abi, it's too late. Forget it.
Wow. Because the player is formed already. The player
exactly.
They cannot train him to start to deliver.
Exactly. So the earlier we start these things, the better. So we need to rejuvenate the mentality of our coaches and enhance them. We need to retrain our coaches and enhance them with digital technology that they will be able to use. And NFM need to recruit young coaches who can imbibe these technologies or who already have an idea of what it does.
Let me tell you something also. There was a not now, but not so late ago, there was a CAF coaches training or program or something like that. CAF coaches. I was a member of the CAF Players Committee for so many years, so I know what is going on there. And one of these programs, CAF coaches training, that they get certificates for. And I observed one of those training courses. I observed one of it. And I tell you, see the people who were brought to come and train our own coaches here are worse than the coaches they came to train. I just start to wonder what our coaches take away from a lot of those so-called CAF coaches, mostly theory, very unproductive on the field of play. They are less qualified than even those who are here. You don't give
sir,
what you do not have.
Our coaches are very good. If only
they are getting
just
right stuff.
Yes, we just need to tweak a little thing and they will be there. They will be there. It's just few classes and they will be there. They will be free. And NFF just need to have the team ready in the office for under 17, under 20, under 20. Easy. And they will consistently get trained.
Can we take this your technology and this your knowledge and experience into other sports?
Come on. Why not if not?
Into other sports.
Whatever works for football will work in other sports.
Explain that for us.
Thank you.
The development, the scouting, the this, the that.
Every sport have its own developmental stage. And it's the same technology. The only thing that is different there is that how you play that event.
Yes.
If it's tennis, they will show you how you do your hand, how you maneuver, how you cheat, how you can make cheating. Everything is there. So whatever works for football can be used in other sports. But this time, it will be tailored to that particular sporting event. And that's just it. The only thing we need to do is to be deliberate about changing our mentality and be ready to do the right thing to reposition our sport. We should forget about who know who here. We should just be deliberate about that. Was what Morocco did. Morocco was deliberate about changing the philosophy and identity of their football. And they did it on and off the pitch. And that's why they are where they are today. Our players will have more work if they can get better. They can be enhanced. Their football mentality, their football philosophy, their football intelligence can be enhanced before they leave Nigeria. And the only way we can do that is that we need to change their orientation. We need to change their mentality. They need to know
that through properly instituted academies.
Of course.
Properly run academies that are institutions that have curriculum, that have programs.
For example, this uncle in Ikene, Raymond Stars owner. Yes, he's doing a fantastic job. He took me around his facilities. I was wowed.
Have you come to the Sheikh Mondegwami?
I've not been there. I've not been there.
You are missing.
And I will be happy to see what you have when I come in January. Okay. Because these days, what I do these days is just to advise and help teams develop solutions that can help them solve their problems. And out of anger, I initially said I don't want to do anything with Nigeria again because you're just like an orphan in your own environment. You're just like an orphan. In Morocco, when I went to Rabat recently, your national team was actually talking to me. The national team was actually talking to me that, please, can we have you? Can you join And I just wave it that just Africa is Africa. Just let me continue with whatever I'm doing, where I'm getting my small points to take care of my family. Because it can be very, very belittling. Can be very, very belittling when you experience some of the things because you just feel like, man, do you need all this? But Africa is our continent. We just have to help our continent.
Okay. We've been having this conversation with Abiodun Ilori, based in the United Kingdom. He's a digital business analyst. He's been working with the Nigeria Football Federation for a couple of years. He's an internationally recognized digital analyst, and he's giving us invaluable information this morning. You can join us in the conversation wherever you are in the world. Let me try and see if I can let you have the telephone numbers now. It's 0700 22 55 1037. 07 00 22 55 1037. And the second number is 081 27 82 8497. Call either of those two numbers. Of course, you have to start with the international dialing code, and we may be able to take one or two calls so you can make your own contributions as we start drawing close to the end of our conversation. But this morning has been truly, truly enlightening. I have learned so much just listening to Abby. So let me go to, what has been on my mind now. Is the situation, you told me that the situation is not too bad, that it is redeemable. We can still save Nigerian football. And you made some statements that, look, if we don't change, the business will not grow in Nigeria. If we don't change, adopt the digital technology thing, the league will not grow in Nigeria. If we don't change, this will not happen in Nigeria. So start taking us through that process where things can change. Where exactly should we look at what, for me, the business of football is the business that leads all other sports into that business space. If football doesn't succeed, nothing else will succeed in business in Nigeria. So lead us into that space and start to tell us what we need to put in place so that business can thrive.
Without any ado, we need to start inject and invest into serious digital infrastructures as quickly as we can. NFF and other football clubs should not spare anything. If they want to start competing with all those other things, including, let me tell you, if we play against Cape Verde today, they will beat us. Take it from me.
Wow.
Cape Verde will beat us. So if we don't start investing in digital infrastructures, we will just be rigmaroling on the same sport. Now, let me go to our league. I've been saying this and I will continue to say it. The system we are using to run our league is too wrong to even produce any meaningful team that can compete in Africa. Because this league has no money, the league has no proper team identity that the Africa will shake, even Nigerian team will shake. How many of these clubs can say that, I have 3 players in the national team? How many? No. Unless we force them on the coach. The coach will look at them, one look at it, say, no, I don't want these players. Because he has already seen that their football intelligence and capacity is too low. And this man wants immediate results. And that's the problem we have when we engage these coaches. We want them to get some results, otherwise we get them sacked. That's why they just go recruit these boys from abroad and make them play the kind of formation. They force that formation on them to win games. So for me, if we don't start now, the gap will continue to widen. And God forbid.
Hello, good morning.
Hello? Yeah, do we have a caller there?
Yeah, good morning, Big Check.
Yes, good morning. Who is this and where are you calling from? Even though I seem to recognize that voice.
Good morning, sir. Big Check.
Okay, good morning.
Yes, sir. I just want to ask your guest a question. I mean, where is the place of facilities in all of this? Facilities,
these are the infrastructures we are talking about.
Exactly.
These are the infrastructures we are talking about. For example, let me bust your bubble. I've been to many stadiums in Nigeria, and each time I enter those stadiums, I just shake my head. Whoever built that stadium should be caned. Of course, because with the exception of Abuja Stadium, but if you look at the Abuja, it's been so abandoned that all the technological stuff they put in there, they are all gone. So when we are dealing with infrastructures, we are dealing with both digital and facilities. If you go to Morocco, every corner you get to in Morocco, you see playing field as if you are in Europe. You will see kids play on a very good turf. And at some point, I wanted to tell Mr. Amaju Piniga, can we bring in seven aside system so that all these boys playing set, we can easily bring them in, those playing, and then we do small pitches for them across. I think that was what Morocco did. And I believe I wrote something to TED Fund in Abuja that, look, it's high time we start investing in all these things, because the energy these boys are using to drink Colorado or whatever they call it, we can divert it into skills development. No response, because I don't know anybody. But like I said,
are you still there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
No, it's not your own Biodun. The other guy too is Biodun.
Oh, I see.
Good morning.
Biodun, are you there? We've lost you.
Good morning.
Okay.
Good morning.
Aha, okay. Another caller. Good morning.
Good morning, sir. Big Sec.
Good morning, who is this? Where are you calling from?
I'm Magbola Adebayo. I'm calling from Oderema in Ogun State.
Okay, Oderema. Good morning.
Yes,
so go ahead. Make your contribution.
Yes, now I've been enjoying you kept me spellbound. I enjoyed the whole thing you've been doing since morning. Thank you for giving us my observation and my contribution. Nigerian football, with people like you, Big Church, I'm disappointed that we are still where we are today. Even though I know you're giving your all in terms of playing for Nigeria and still doing it after you left football. But with people like you, I expect people like you should be running these NFS things we are talking about. I don't know how you try to get there. I don't know. But people like you should be running it. Instead of people who barely knew what they were doing there. Football has gone scientific, as you people have observed. Far more scientific. It's no longer analog, digital now. You understand? And listen to Mr. Ilori. I think I've learned so much today. I've learned so much. Thank you for bringing him, Mr. Che. But I still think people still need to do more. People like you, people like Wakokano, Okucha, the football body, those who are giving their horse, who come together and push Netherlands, we need to push more. We want you there. Thank you. Good morning.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Well, Abiodun, go ahead, because I know so many things are reeling through your head.
So I was talking about the league.
Yeah.
You see, when we're talking about developing a team that can actually challenge other African teams, countries like Egypt, South Africa, Morocco, Tunisia, they didn't just get in there by chance. It was well planned. It was well orchestrated. And in Nigeria, we don't have such. How can we say we have 20 league teams? Come on. Which teams? Which teams? Where are they? Look, if we want to build a structure that can challenge Africa, means we will do ×2 what those countries are doing right now. We have the legs, but not the way we are running it. These players are just too raw. They are raw gold that we are sending out to play against refined gold. So, number one, there must be well-planned professional template. If the only way we can have a good team that will represent us is to go regional, have a regional league, and I can give them few templates. If we have to go regional and then begin to sieve with a strong competition, you will even see that at the end of the day, we will begin to see referees that will be called by CAF.
Don't remind us that at the next AFCON,
no
there's
referees.
No one Nigerian.
No single referee.
I don't understand what is going through the minds of
It's the gap. It's the same problem.
There's no football field in the whole of Nigeria, apart from the Uyo Stadium, which is manageable. There's no football field, not one, that I would approve for use. Not one in the whole country. Nobody understands it. People don't understand what we are talking about. Even those who are in authority.
Even the Uyo pitch. When you look at it, if that pitch just barely hit the pass mark.
Exactly.
But some of these things, some of us will not talk about it because I'm not in charge of. I will just be looking. But we do these things for others, and it works. So you see, there are so many factors that went wrong with the national team. We're not qualifying a lot, and I pity.
Information. Let me give you an information so that people will digest it properly. You see, we are saying that we don't have a pitch in Nigeria. Do you know that the Liberty Stadium pitch, that was built in the late 60s, that was destroyed by our own people in 1995, that field was as good then as the best pitches in the world today. Just to say that it has happened in Nigeria before.
Of course, we all know the national stadium. The national stadium in Surulere.
No, that did not have an excellent pitch, really.
No, I'm just saying the qualities.
We had it before. It is possible. We grew up on that, and we use that as a standard. And people don't understand. They gave the pitch of the national stadium in Abuja to somebody that had destroyed all Nigerian pitches. And when we raised the issue, look, we can't.
Did you know that the guy that built the pitch in Garua in Cameroon, that stadium in Garua, he happens to be my friend. When he was telling me how it came about, the grass is going to use, all of this happened in Cameroon. He's a French guy. Because I speak French, so I can easily relate. I was able to interact with all those. And for how much? Despite the padding and other stuff. But that's not what we are here to discuss. You see, I once told one of my top guys at the secretary, I said, football is a project. Every match is a project. And that project will move from pitch to the dressing room, whatever you need to touch until you get your victory. That's when you pass the project. But we have our own vision. And like I said, it's all about vision and objectives. So let me get back to what you asked me. So if we don't develop our football ideologies, our football philosophies, which will now give us our footballing identity, we are just joking. So the league we said we are having will continue to produce very dodgy results that will depress Nigerians. And that's why we kept failing, our chanting kept failing. So until we become deliberate to say, okay, fine, we want to have 4 teams, and we have 4 pitches of high standard. For now, only Ogasioname's facilities and 1 or 2 can be ticked. Those are the 2. I mean, that's the only one I can tick for now, because that man really tried. When he showed me the 4 pitches, I'm like, you mean, Egbon, you really tried, sir? So we need to be deliberate about it. We are not doing anybody any favor. It's our future, because football is the opium that has binded us together in Nigeria. So if the Secretariat and the NSC feel like, okay, how do we start? Where do we shake these problems? How do we start digging these gutters? I mean, I was fortunate to be called in when the bill for the NSC was being prepared. The Senate House called me, actually. I can send you the video. And I was the one that raised the digital stuff to them. And I was lucky I was brought into the committee of 3 that did the whole thing for the Senate. But that was the last we had until they said Ogadiko will be the chairman. And I was happy. So the NSC need to know what they want. They need to have a philosophy that will define their roles, because it's not about NFF now. It's about the commission knowing what to do, what they want to do, and how to start the work. By now, I was expecting that 1 or 2 major projects will have commenced. 1 or 2 major stuff will have commenced that will show the people that this is where we are going. We don't want, for example, I expect that the Abuja Stadium or something will have been, they will have announced something, because I believe they were prepared for this job. But up till now, we are still waiting, and we are praying for them. We are praying for them, because these are people I know very well, and I love them. I love them. They are my brothers. So for someone like me, I want to see those changes. And then for our league, I will tell your guys there, please, please, and please, check the formula of the league you are running. The current formula is what French people call faux pas, kojo. It will never produce anything for us in Nigeria. Because 20 teams, out of the 20 teams, only 1 can be, we can only say only 1 is well funded. Others will have to rely on government. Any team that is relying on government, how do you expect sincerity from such teams? Government football club? No. We need teams. We need teams. The government, if we need government, will have to fund it. They have to fund it using another mechanism that will be professionally approved. Teams that cannot pay good salaries. If we are only going to have 4 teams and they'll be paying good salaries to these players, then you will see other players coming into Nigeria to play. So for now, what we have is not a league, it's just a friendly encounter. And that's why our referees are doing whatever they like. Our referees need to understand the modus operandi of what goes on, what transpires in today's football. And practice, charity begins at home. If it's not practiced in Nigeria, then how do you expect our referees to go and showcase it abroad in an international competition? It's not going to work now.
Okay. Abiodun, we are running out of time. I have 2 last questions to ask you.
Yes, sir.
one is related to football, the other one is not.
Okay.
So the one related to football is, I know in your experiences you have worked with VAR.
Oh, yeah.
You told me about that. So tell us about you and the deployment of technology in that regard, VAR and so on.
Well, when VAR was just being optimized, I happened to have been called by UEFA to review and observe how they used the VAR in the final of the UEFA Nations Cup that was played in Portugal, and Portugal won the game. And it's not different. And for us in Africa, I think it's high time we cherish what we have. I must be honest now. It's high time we begin to think deep. It's high time we begin to test our own brain. It's high time we begin to challenge ourselves. It's high time we begin to have self-belief. It's high time we begin to have the spirit of we can do it, we can get it done. Yes, you're not going to get it right the first time. You're not going to get it right the second time. But by the time you keep trying it, you just realize that you're getting there until you get it. Because let me tell you, that technology is expensive, very, very expensive. But come to think of it, by the time we sit down with it, you realize that those things can be done by Africans in such a way that it will be working for us, at least till we begin to advance on it. What did I gain from it? Well, the first thing I realized was that it has its own level of concentration, those managing it. The training, the level of concentration is such that you can't afford to make a mistake. If you make one mistake, the whole world will come on you. And your decision must be accurate, because it is your decision and that we want to convince or not convince the referee. You are the one that will say, no, that's a foul, and you must understand the rules of the game inside out. So for me, as a technical person, I was only looking at how the technology was soldered together using virtual relationship, sending information, and the speed of the information that's being sent from the goalpost to from the pitch, and the cameras that are sending the information. And I realized that this is not a very difficult thing. This is not a very, very difficult thing. It's just a function of knowing the exact this thing they use, the wireless. I don't know. I don't want to be speaking
technical.
So, by the time you know all those speeds and the length, I mean the distance, you can put a code in between, and then you get the information you want. You can start with 1 or 2 cameras, and let's see how it goes. I was on the verge of telling Uncle Shonome that let me try something here, but he's a businessman. He won't want to invest money on me to try anything, and I can understand where he's coming from. So that's my own view about it. That this thing will actually help football. And one thing about Oyinbos is this: when you see them come up with new events, new competitions like that, know they want to test a new technology or they want to roll something out. They use all those small competitions to test run their new advanced technology in an environment where seriousness will be optimal. So the idea of UEFA Nations Cup was best suited for the VAR at the second level. And immediately after that, they started deploying it because they got what they wanted. Then UEFA Nations Cup can continue. But it will continue to be one of the events they will be using to test run those new technologies. So for us in Africa, we just have to put our heads down and decide on how we also need to help develop our own technology.
Okay, my final question.
Yes, sir.
I was going to ask a question outside of sports, but let me come back to asking it in sports. Many years ago, I was the head of a committee, and I dreamt up this idea to have data on all prospective sports people in all established institutions in the country, apart from primary school level. Secondary school level, all secondary schools in Nigeria, all colleges of education, all colleges of technology, all universities, all academies, everybody in one data pool.
That's easy.
You see, we designed it at that time.
Okay.
With the concept,
Yes.
and we got a bank to actually listen, and in less than 10 minutes, they said, this one is a winner, and they were willing to fund it for us to be able to keep that data.
Data, yes.
And once you are in that data, there are certain things you will enjoy throughout your playing career. But we can't go into those details. But how possible is that to be achieved now? This was many years ago when I did not have any idea of this, your digitalization.
Thank you. I forgot to tell you.
Every secondary school in
we
Nigeria,
have something similar to that. I have something similar, which I designed for Nigerian football.
Please give it to me. Give it to me.
I forgot completely. It's called Fans Connect. It's a Fans Connect hub.
Okay.
And I designed that to give values to NFF's partners and sponsors. So, and again, to find a solution to the multiple fans, NFF fans, I don't know what they call themselves, supporters clubs that we have. That, okay, this solution can bring all of them together. And NFF will not have any issues. You can own your own supporters club under that fans hub. And once you are registered, you will be classified. I can show you all of these things I'm telling you. I can show you and show you everything. Everything. So we have gold status, silver status, bronze status, and depending on your level of careerability on that hub, you will have access to a certain percentage of whatever those partners are selling. And you will now come up with a card, like an ATM card, which you will use to buy you will get it from NFF, to be NFF and their partners, and you can spend it. You just put money in it, and you can purchase from those partners. We were ready to meet with those partners. They will give us what they are saying. We design everything for them. And it's like it will just solve the... So when it comes to data, in fact, data, what you did those days is even so easy to do now. It's so easy to do now. A secondary school boy can even design that now. That's how easy it is now. Oh yes, because what you are you did very well. What we are talking about now, what we have done before, they are automated. But by the special grace of God, my team and I, we have advanced into AI. So whatever I've done for NFF, then that is not being used, is now obsolete.
Wow.
It's now obsolete. So if I have to update it now, it has to be AI enabled, because that's the language I'm speaking now with my team. So it has to be AI enabled so that Nigerians will have easy access to get their information by just talking. I will give it a language, I will train it with some languages, and they just interact with it like they are dealing with ChatGPT or Brock. So that's where we are. That's where we are now. But we need that trust, we need that support, and they need to pamper us, because that's the joy of we technical people.
Abiodun Ilori, don't worry. They have heard you today. Nigerians have seen you today. I have listened to you today. You have illuminated the path for so many of us today. And you shall be pampered. You shall be pampered.
No, I want my boys to be pampered. I want my team to be pampered.
Yes, when I say you, I'm not talking of just you. You, your people, the national team players, everybody that is within that space will be pampered. I want to, on behalf of all Nigerians, in fact, on behalf of all Africans, thank you for the work, the great work that you have been doing. And we wish you the best as you lead us into the 24th century, not 22nd century, because you guys are way ahead with your AI and so on and so forth. And I look personally forward to meeting with you very soon when you visit. And on that note, I'd like to thank all those that were part of this morning's program. And join us again next week, Saturday, on Eagle 7 Sports Radio, when we'll be bringing you another great personality. But for today, it's been Abiodun Ilori in England.